Welcome to One ABQ and You. Conversations, culture, and community. A City of Albuquerque production with your hosts, Mayor Tim Keller and me, Leah Black. Welcome to another episode of One ABQ and You. I'm joined with Mayor Tim Keller, and I wanted to pick your brain about something. I always do it off the mic, but then I'm like, wait, I got to save it because other people probably have these questions too. I recently drove by the rail yards, and there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Yeah, it's like the whole rail yards is a fascinating story, which, we should, again, for another time.
Yes.
But like the short story is, it had a master plan developer from like California, and we came in, we like tore up that plan and said like, we're taking back the rail yards.
Yeah.
And it was one of my favorite ever. It was a sheer photo op. We actually tore up the contract.
Oh, really?
It was really fun.
Okay.
Just have to say, like, as a person,
come
on, like that was fun. So anyway, but so then it was like our problem and our responsibility.
Now what?
Now
what
exactly.
do we do?
So now what do we do? And lo and behold, like the first thing is we did this kind of interesting sort of build it and they will come kind of thing. So we, the governor and the legislature and city council, we put all this money into fixing up the roof because you really can't do anything in a building with like a leaking roof.
Right. It's going to keep damaging and destroying the property.
So the first thing you saw was like a new roof, and that finally finished maybe last year. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we can use these buildings. Now they still don't have air conditioning or heating and or plumbing or electricity.
All these little things.
So lo and behold, like one thing kind of led to another, and our film industry is amazing. And, the state and CNM in Albuquerque put together this deal to build a film academy run by CNM at the rail yards.
So cool.
And this is it's inside one of the buildings, but if you just think about sort of like the letter H, it's the crossbar in the H. I mean, that's a really kind of a bad analogy. But anyway, the point is it's one giant big building.
Cool, yeah.
And so now they're going to build a studio inside it. So it's going to look the same.
Same
so you see
rail yards exterior.
Yeah. So everyone's like, oh, I see all this construction, but like nothing's changing. And it's like, no, that's on purpose. It's all on the inside.
That's cool.
So it's a building within a building.
Aesthetic.
Yeah. And so now when this is done, there's going to be hundreds of students every day going to the rail yards. Like during the day, not just for the awesome market, which we love on Sunday, right?
But to boost our film industry, to have people stay here.
That's the other thing too, is so now we can sort of grow our own. So we're going to have, we want to, all these film jobs, we want them to be like for New Mexicans. So we have to sort of grow our own there. Right. And then of course, the other aspect of this is that we're getting into those, we can train for like post-production and these other parts of the film value chain that typically get shipped back to California. So now we want to do them here. And so this is going to train everyone for that.
Moving here too, not just staying here, but we know that some people are moving here from like the LA industry, Atlanta film industry. And speaking of that, our guest today is also I hate to say transplant. It always has this negative connotation because I admittedly am, but we're going to talk to him about what brought him here and his adventure in film.
Yeah, and now we can confirm, but I think like a lot of people, like he married in.
She's from here.
We'll confirm
She's
this.
OG, and he married into with somebody that's from here.
There you go.
All right, we're going to talk to him in just a second. We are so excited to have you here. Richard Farmer, you're an award-winning film, commercial, music, video director. There's like nothing you don't direct, it sounds like.
I love doing everything.
We're going to delve into this.
Okay, great.
Thank you for being here with us. You're also the executive producer at Inspirado. It's a media production company based right here in Albuquerque.
Correct.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here. Honored to be here.
So tell us about, I think maybe just to open up, tell us about your journey to Albuquerque. I mean, it's sort of a long question, but what brought you to the Duke City?
Yeah, well, that would be a girl.
Typically that's the case. Yeah. I love it.
It's my wife, Kirsten, but we've been together 28 years, and we met at Oklahoma University and started coming out here. And I fell in love with New Mexico and Albuquerque on my first visit. A boy from Oklahoma. And
it's very flat there.
It's flat. It's it's got all kinds of
no shame to
humidity. Great folks, but coming here and coming over the mountain and boom, and just fell in love with the culture here. How people respect the culture, and it's everything from the food and whatnot. So I've been coming here for 20 plus years. Meanwhile, put in 23 years in Los Angeles and loved that. But we had a child, and our biology started to change, and we wanted to be around family and be able to get to Oklahoma quicker and just kick ourselves out of that nice, warm, bubbly water of Los Angeles and do something different.
Shake it up.
And this decision happened before COVID, which landed us here right when it started. And it was the most magical blessing we could have done. Smartest move we ever did.
That's great. And you live right downtown, right?
Live downtown in the Hewden Castle.
You're in the
area.
heart of it.
Yeah, which we love. And so there was no filming going on. And I don't know if I'm segueing into Inspirado.
I mean, you're a director. You can direct yourself. This is great. Yeah, but this is great.
So, we got here during COVID. There was nothing going on. And I just started kind of meeting people that I had been tracking on the internet regarding the film industry. And thank gosh, Sawmill was open. Because that became
that had like just started like in that era.
Yeah, so that was a COVID meeting space, and it's really close to the house. And I met my partner Keegan, and who's a young producer for New Mexico. And I think it was probably in the summertime he came across a commercial for an anti-smoking campaign, and he's like, it's not a lot of money. Were you interested in it? I was like, yes, let's have fun. And so we did, and we started Inspirado pretty much that day. I was home by 6:00, having dinner with my family, which is totally different from what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And then a hour and a half drive afterwards, wherever you were, coming home dog tired. I had a blast, and it was just inspired us to continue on and start this company that keeps growing.
That's great. Let's get back to the LA times just a little bit.
Yep.
Some of the people that I know that you've worked with, I of course have to ask about.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
Absolutely. It was one of the most fun and frightening days of my life.
How did this go together?
Part of it, Snoop's posse, they are just so busy. They're literally scheduling him, commercial, this, that. And so leading up to it, we had several Zoom calls with the posse.
Yeah.
In my opinion, a few of them are necessary. The rest of them are kind of like security guys.
Don't we always feel like that with
Yes.
a lot of Zooms?
Yeah.
Well, extra entourage,
Well, anyway,
he's earned it.
But they do a smart thing. They kind of scare you a little bit because if there's any inefficiencies, if we will, on the day, you might lose Snoop. He might go wandering off. He may not, if he doesn't respect you, things like that. And I understand exactly why, because he's scheduled all the time. So they don't have time for tomfoolery. And so, thank gosh we had a super tight ship. While directing him, it was like having a coach direct me to direct him.
I love this.
And I got approval at the end. You pretty much, you do 3 takes tops because you are hiring Snoop. And, he probably nailed it on the first one. Huh. If there's a second one, maybe there's, a good reason. After 3, you're getting into a hot zone. Yeah. So I kept everything to 2.
Oh, good. You're like, I'm not going to go to that third place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Martha was just a joy. She sat next to me all day and we chatted all day, and she's just exactly how you'd think. She's a dream. Snoop was awesome. Funny, and we had a lot of activities for them to do. Like, it was like we had 2 commercials. We had 15 seconds, 30 seconds. We had to do PR video. Then they had photography in the corner.
Oh, right.
So we just kept him busy, and that's what he likes. I got a hug at the end, and he said, "Good job."
Oh,
I was like,
nice.
That's like the ultimate seal of approval.
Totally. Yeah.
And his entourage was happy.
They were
Okay.
great.
Cool.
And
Because we gotta unpack this a little bit. I mean, it's legendary
I
as
have so
Snoop
many
and Martha
questions.
Stewart is. Yeah. And well, first, what was the dynamic between the two? Because I think this is cool because we've all seen this ad, which is a credit to you. And
thank you.
The I don't even remember what the ad was for, which is even
That was
better.
for Bic.
Right?
Because
You just remember them.
Yeah, it's for Bic lighters.
yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Of course.
easy
You're really
one.
into cigarettes and lighters. No, I'm just kidding. This is a common theme.
You
Don't
need
start
fire.
this.
And yeah.
We need fire.
So What was the dynamic between the two? Because in the ad, it seemed great.
They are legit friends. It's become an interesting business for them.
Yeah.
And
Because did they have a cooking
they
thing?
have all kinds of things. You can't even keep up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, wow. I'm out of date on this.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
they are legitimate friends, and they're the odd couple. And I think, at some point they probably, the groups around them figured this out, that this is like, something
duo.
we have an appetite for this odd
Yeah,
couple.
yeah, we
And
do.
they, they're, exploiting it in all the best ways, but they have a ball. They are,
That's awesome.
and he's very protective of her, which is really cute and cool.
Yeah.
There was a situation where the lighter was difficult to light, and he didn't suffer the fools. And we had to scramble real quick and get our lighter that worked.
Right.
And
Don't make my girl Martha work.
Exactly. That was a interesting situation that could have gone really bad.
And her humor is really
She's on point.
awesome
Yeah.
because she was joking about certain things that you would never think Martha would like. She seems very straight-laced, and she seems great,
She's
kind of
very,
irreverent.
very self-aware
Yeah, that's cool.
of the situation, which is always cool.
There should be a documentary on this relationship. That you
Yes.
should pitch
Yeah,
that to
that's
him.
true.
Like
Yeah.
this actually is a perfect, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we should talk a little bit more about Snoop because we oddly have Snoop in common.
I wondered if this was going to come.
I got 5 minutes
Yeah.
of Snoop.
All right. Good.
Not a day, but one thing that was interesting. So did he drop any shizzle bizzles or anything, or is he past that with you?
I can't believe just what that's great.
I don't
question.
remember a lot of shizzle bizzle. I just remember a lot of jokes. Like he controlled the room. I mean, you got to imagine this. We're in a massive stage.
Yeah.
With a whole set. We had multiple sets and all this. So the crew were so excited. I mean, there must have been 80
Wow.
crew, maybe more. And he would just, after a cut, when we'd roll cut, he would say something and everyone would laugh. And yes.
No matter what it
That guy,
was.
yeah.
Yes. He was so funny. He knew he was, as soon as he walked on, even if we're going to be shooting for 20 minutes, he was just funny.
Yeah.
And he would say things really loud. He commanded the audience so well. It was so
Yeah.
cool.
We all could be like Snoop a little bit more.
I was struck in many ways he's brilliant. I mean, I think if you like his music, you think that already. But
Yeah.
what you realize is I would argue in any situation he would have become Snoop. He is a leader. It's weird.
Yes.
It comes across right away.
Yeah.
And he's also weirdly professional. So
It's very professional.
I just met him back at the when he came for a concert. There was sometimes, they're interested in meeting the mayor. Sometimes they're not, just to be clear. There are plenty of bands who've said no. But Snoop was like, oh yeah, cool, or whatever, And, but yeah, it was super tight ship. And then it was also interesting because he wanted to make sure each person he was also meeting, got, their 90 seconds with Snoop.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
that's
very honed in on
He's
them.
a politician.
Yeah, actually, in many ways, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but I have to say this: the show. So seeing, so then I went to the show, and interestingly, I was standing next to Too Short for most of it, which is probably a different conversation we should have. Yeah, I know.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
Too
way
Short was
back in the
everywhere.
day.
He was everywhere in the crowd.
If you don't know, Google Too Short.
And yeah, so but what was amazing is so Snoop also was then he was true to his original Snoop self. It was a very rated R show.
Yeah, right.
Definitely adults only. And I totally forgot. I was like, oh yeah, this was 90s hip hop, and
Oh yeah.
and then so the showmanship was also just he could deliver professionalism with Martha Stewart.
Totally.
He could also go back and be right there,
Yeah.
in 1995 or whatever.
Talent. He's just a talent.
Yeah. And so it was a whole show to experience,
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
before and after and everything in between.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about when you came back to, so you're here in Albuquerque, going back to sort of that story. You've started Inspirado, and then, I know part of what's really cool if you're here all the time, sometimes we take for granted some of the cool things about Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people will either move here or they'll go and then come back and they'll be like, man, this is so cool, and you'll be like, Actually, that is cool.
Yes.
I
Right.
kind of forgot how cool this was.
Totally.
So anyway, but tell us about your project to kind of celebrate Albuquerque.
That you mean as far as what I do, or
Like absolute Albuquerque.
Oh, got it. Yes.
Yeah.
So, we started Inspirado, and we do commercials. My partner, we're on our 4th feature film now,
Cool.
and to keep the lights on, we do commercials, and also the great thing is it gets our directors behind the camera. I'm the old guy at the company. So I want to get these, our directors behind the camera. And along came a phone call from Hearst Media, and they have started a platform called Very Local. And
It's an app.
It's an app, and it's Hearst Media, which they own KOAT, and with all the markets, they have news and newspapers, and they started this concept, which it's kind of mid-tier cities. So when you go into the app, you can download it to Apple or Roku, and you're presented with mid-tier cities, New Orleans, Boston, it goes on. And Albuquerque is next.
Oh, are we mid-tier?
Well,
I didn't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That's good company, whatever
Yeah.
tier that
Yeah.
is.
Well,
take
it's not
it.
New York, LA,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the majors.
So Boston got downgraded, but
Yeah, but
Boston's like, we're with Albert. No, I'm just
yeah. So the Very Local concept is that they do shows in that city, and they have local filmmakers shoot it and tell the stories because they know the city. And so
Love
we were
that.
the first phone call, and we started pitching ideas, and we came up with Absolute Albuquerque, and came along at the right time. It was just a joy to work on because, as just the producer, being a part of the writing team and concepting where are we going to go and how are we going to do this, instead of going to they wanted us to show the part that some people just don't know about either, to supplement it and show the characters and the interesting businesses or things to do in Albuquerque. And it was just so cool. I mean, I'll be the first to announce they want a 2nd season.
Ooh,
Nice.
Congratulations.
Good job.
That's great.
Yeah, so I remember just that first initial list of ideas, from restaurants to things to do. There was
There's
certainly
tons of
3
material.
seasons there.
Absolutely.
So, we wound down, and we got to go out and meet all these amazing folks in our town that are, make our lives better, whether it's for food or culture or what have you. But it was just a pleasure and a joy. And you really got to see the magic of Albuquerque.
what was a highlight in that? I mean, they're all highlights by definition of the show,
Yeah.
but a particular spot or shoot that you remembered.
Well, I mean, meeting Poncho with the Duke City, the Lowriders. I finally got to be around that culture like that close. I've been, through there. We hear it every Sunday. We see it every Sunday. And, but actually getting to know them and the history a lot better. Another treasure is meeting Kate Gerwin, who has Happy Accidents, the bar on Central. And she is just an amazing gal, a business owner, a talent.
Yeah.
She's an alchemist. And she, becoming friends with her, we're working on another show based around her.
Cool.
So that's going to be really cool.
She got a lot of notoriety for Albuquerque as well.
Correct.
There was a mixology show on Netflix.
Yes, she was on Drink Masters.
Yeah.
She's a two-time world champion mixologist.
Wow.
And we kind of realized that she's kind of a Anthony Bourdain type character. And after meeting her and having her as a guest, we realized
There's more there.
what she has to bring to the world. And so we pitched that to Hearst, and they want it. So we've just finished shooting 5 episodes with her.
That's so cool.
Which it was became a travel show. So we did Santa Fe first, and then they went to Louisville and Birmingham, New Orleans, and whatnot. But regarding what she brings to Albuquerque, and she has other plans, she wants to keep expanding, and what she does, her talent, her creativity. I would call her the Meow Wolf of alchemy.
Oh, I love it.
Drinking. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
So there's more in store with
good
Kate in
analogy.
Albuquerque. And she's just a real treasure. Along the way, just special people like, what's his name? Sonny, that does Duke, oh my God, I'm going to butcher it all of a sudden, but Duke City Heat, that does the tennis shoes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
The kid.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sonny Roberts.
Yes,
I think
yes.
his father's name's David. I mean, stuff like that. That's what I love about Albuquerque is that, this teenager can start a business.
Yeah.
And now they have 6
Yeah.
locations.
It's amazing.
Wow,
That's
I didn't
how,
notice that many already.
when I look back on starting Inspirado, we started kind of on a lark with zero money and just started going. And you can do that here. And, regarding economic impact or regarding, someone just starting an idea from scratch, you're chasing a dream, this is the best city to do it. Just look at Sonny, what he's done.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of a beautiful thing regarding business and, staying at home and creating something from nothing.
I would love to tell you that I think you're a gem as well, highlighting these other people and the stories of Albuquerque.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
we're happy that you're here now.
Yeah.
We're happy that this is your home and you can
Yeah.
shine the light on all of those untold stories.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so thanks so much for being on. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but next time we'll talk movies.
Let's do movies. Yeah,
We didn't
let's
even
go.
touch on that
I
yet.
know.
Oh, thank you for having me on, guys.
So check
It's an
out
honor.
Inspirado, everyone, and all the other associated projects in absolute Albuquerque. And really appreciate you being on.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
That's our show for today. We could have gone on longer, but we got to cut it off sometimes. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you join us on the next episode of One ABQ and You.
Thanks so much for listening, Albuquerque. And remember, it takes all of us to fulfill the promise of the city that we call home. We'll see you again next time on One ABQ and You.
Be sure and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us at #OneABQandYou. If you'd like to share your own ABQ observations, experiences, or topic suggestions, reach out to us. You've been listening to One ABQ and You.